Graves is this flex pick that's really great to pick as a first champion. Like you can play him in the jungle, you can play him top, and if you're crazy, you can play him ADC. But we will probably see him in the jungle, especially if you look at the second and third pick. We see an Alistar and a Ryze. There's not a second jungle pick there yet. But like after his changes, he got great. He got really good at clearing his jungle. He can push back the minions a bit, so he doesn't take that much damage. He has constant AOE damage. Yeah, he's just great jungle clearance.
Nah, it's good to know that. Given that, actually, they're now picking up Ashe, or at least it looks like Ashe. He's probably going to be going into the jungle. If we're going to be looking at, Kitty now hovering over Corki. Given the current setup of the teams, what are we looking at? What both of the teams are trying to accomplish?
Let's see. If it's not a Corki mid pick, um, they I'm and they don't have a second support. I would say that our blue side isn't going for the triple AD. Which is a nice comp, of course. At least I like it. But normally you see a Lulu with that. What they're doing now is they have a pretty nice team fighting comp with some nice ganks, lots of CC, especially if they decide to lock in the Jax. On the other side, you see a great team fighting team as well with the Trundle and the Azir that's back in play. Like we saw Faker at MSI bringing back some great Azir plays, but like lately I haven't seen him in solo queue that much. But it's nice to see him be back on the field.
Yeah, it's definitely good to have the bird back, and people can then ask why so Azirius. But in the meantime, though, if we're looking on the other side of the field,
With the
we of
puns
course
already.
see. Yeah, well, you can expect that when casting with me. But nevertheless, if we're looking at the right side, we're looking at Trundle currently, and most likely in the top lane, I imagine we saw some hovering over Malzahar, but I sincerely doubt that. Do you expect that they're going to be locking in Warwick and looking to just nuke someone down?
Um, I highly doubt it. We see some troll hovers here, probably, like the Kazakhs. I recently read Kazakhs has a 9% pick rate, so if he gets picked now, oh, he gets picked now. Like they want to
Ah,
move that pick rate
yes.
up a bit.
Ah, perfect. Yeah, well, Kazakhs, what can I say for those, of course, who are right now here, should remember me as basically one of the Kazakhs players back in Season 3. So I'm very happy to see the bug getting picked up
Yeah,
here.
like in season three, Kazakhs was so much fun to play, and it's nice to see him get some love.
Yeah,
Like
it's
a 9% pick rate, oh, that's really poor, man.
Yeah, he definitely needs to get a little bit more love. But we're going to be seeing how Legendary Trunks is going to be running around at the bug, and maybe we're going to see some more well, hopping around as he, I guess, switches into wings at either level 6 or level 11. I'm
Yeah,
not entirely sure, but that kind of depends on what he wants to accomplish there. But yeah, looking at how these lanes are going to be playing out, we have Jax versus Trundle.
yeah. I'd say they will just farm a lot probably, but they have the ganking potential with the Kazakhs and the Graves to burst him down. The Kazakhs can jump in and out really quickly. I'd like to see a nice tower dive right there. In the mid lane, Azir wants to probably avoid battling the Ryze. He can poke him from a distance. In the bot lane, we have Caitlyn with the range advantage, but Ezreal isn't that bad versus Caitlyn because he has his Q, which he can poke back with. And you have the hard engage with Alistar and Braum. So it looks pretty even. I think it will be pretty much skill dependent on who will win the lanes. Uh,
Hmm.
I'm especially intrigued by the jungle picks here. Like let's see how Kha'Zix deals with the Graves. Maybe it's a secret legendary Trunks has for us. Like maybe he knows something we don't. That Kha'Zix counters Graves really hard in the jungle.
Well, the advantage that Kha'Zix, of course, has is in this patch. I believe we're on 6.9, if I recall correctly. We have the new dragons, and if there's one thing that Kha'Zix is really good at, it's single target damage. Get the enlarged class or evolved class at level 6, and you deal tons of damage, and that allows you to immediately destroy any jungle creep that's alone. And well,
Yeah.
the dragons, let's be fair, they spawn alone, so Kha'Zix can really
Yeah.
clear those out in a very fast way. So Yeah, like I said, I know a lot about Kha'Zix. I
Yeah.
pretty much only play Kha'Zix in the jungle, if possible. Maybe Master Yi, but not after the nerfs. So, yeah, again, I'm very interested to see how they're going to play Kha'Zix. I'm assuming they're going to be playing him as a objective secure.
Yeah.
But in a 1 versus 1 battle with Graves, it's...
He might get bursted. He might get
Yeah,
bursted really bad.
yeah.
Like I'd like to see some new strategies from teams here. Like if they bring something new to the table, if will they copy things they have seen at MSI past weekend? Maybe we'll see some tactics that we can then dub the Dutch tactic or something after these 7 weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be like I said, it's going to be very interesting. And other than that, if we're looking at the team fights, you were talking about how they had a interesting team fight composition, especially once they were hovering over Lucian. If we're looking now at the blue team's ability to team fight,
They,
where do their strengths lie, and what are the weaknesses that the purple team can can capitalize on?
Okay, let's see. I think they have great burst potential. If they get a nice knock up with Alistar on, like, let's say Caitlyn, I think the Caitlyn is pretty much dead. The Braum can protect her. That's a really great pick by the purple team. But like if they can single out a Caitlyn or an Azir, and even a Kha'Zix who can be really squishy dependent on his build, I think they have a big burst potential. But what are some weaknesses? I don't see that much weaknesses. If they dive onto the Rise to kill him, the Rise will basically explode them. So I think the blue team has a pretty strong team fighting comp for now. As for the purple team, they have more a pokey team with Azir, Caitlyn. They want to stay back a bit, want to use Braum for disengage. So I think we'll see a hard engage versus a poking comp, and it depends on who plays it better, um, who will win the team fights. But if the blue team can engage properly, they have a good chance of winning a team fight.
Yeah, so it all comes down to engaging. Whereas if we're and of course the powerful disengages coming out from the team of Asterion.
Yeah.
Right, so we are currently loading into the game, so we should be live in just a few seconds. If we're looking at the masteries that have been picked up, pretty standard masteries all across the board, or especially I'm looking at the keystones. Anything special
Yeah.
that we see?
Not really. We see the standard keystones coming out for the ADC supports, for the mid laners that want the burst with the Thunderlords. Yeah, nothing surprising for now, but yeah, like we said, these kind of things are well thought out. If they bring something new to the table, it would be nice. But yeah, standard is all right. It means they did their research. Let's see. The red team is teaming up and looking to invade.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one here as Asterion is moving as a 5-man group, whereas if we're looking at Lachende Gerdas, they're moving as that spread out composition in order to ensure that they know that these kinds of invades are taking place. True now has to be a little bit careful here. Takes a little bit of poke damage there from Azir, but now Kirai, is forced to use his quick draw to hop over the wall there.
Kira had to pick his Eid right there. That harms his jungle clear a bit. And the red team, they aren't stopping. Asterion once more. They probably want to put down some deep wards here.
Well, to be honest, like they forced Graves onto a bad pick, so I'm not surprised that they are looking to get a little bit more, perhaps even force Graves to the other side. Quick question: does Graves look to start at the blue buff or the red buff? Or at least the red buff side of the jungle, or the blue buff
Well,
side.
now they have invaded his blue side, he will probably start his red. That's where his bottom lane won't be. Normally you want to start where your bottom lane is, so you have the defense and the backup of your bot lane if needed. But now he will start at the red buff because they invaded his blue side. It's probably something Asterion was looking for to mess with Graves a little bit, and it seemed to be working out. They also saw that, or are even seeing on the board, that Alistar and Ezreal are going to the top lane, and they are changing their setup accordingly. So I'd say Asterion is, they're playing their game now, and Lachende Gerdas is following them basically.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the top lane and bot lane switches here between the two teams, but I've seen stranger things in my life. Interestingly enough, Kha'Zix starting on the red side instead of the blue side, where regarding jungle buffs, it's also a little bit interesting, given that Kha'Zix is, of course, so very reliant on getting that cooldown reduction and mana regeneration. So I'm very curious to see how Trunks is going to be, well,
yeah, how he will
well, moving
transition
in.
in the jungle. Like
Yeah.
he might have chosen for that path because Graves started red, and he probably didn't expect him to go for his blue. But he's recalling now. He got a little bit too low from that red buff. This will hurt him a bit in the jungle. Well, a bit. This will hurt him a lot because Graves will pick up the blue buff now. As we said before, Graves doesn't take that much damage in the jungle because of his knockback, and Kha'Zix is behind like 2 camps now.
It depends. I mean, Kha'Zix now going back for the Hunter's Potion, which means that he can stay in the jungle all the time. And the only issue with Kha'Zix here is, of course, that he started on the side where, well, the cracks. Isolation damage only applies if you have one enemy. Unfortunately, the cracks actually have. Well, they are a small duo. In the meantime, though, if we're looking at Graves here, moving into, or rather Kirei, moving into the jungle of Asterion, actually going to find out that the Razorbeaks are still there, so just going to clear those out, and perhaps deny Kha'Zix that camp in the next couple of seconds. Top lane, just a little bit of trading, nothing too special just now.
Yeah, you see Kirai, he notices that Kha'Zix is a little bit slower than him, and he takes advantage. He takes the top grab, then he takes down the raid, and now he's looking for top gank. Let's see if he goes in.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one here as Kirai is moving into the top lane, but Forsaken is right there. There's Alistar engaging Forsaken in a lot of trouble, but this Unbreakable keeps him alive. And that means that we're looking at, well, a gank. It put a lot of pressure on the top lane, but not much came out of it just yet.
A flash, and an exhaust. Which means Kirai can pressure some more, like he's even looking to gank again or clear a ward. But like Caitlyn had a really nice trap on the Alistar. Of course Alistar already used his ability, so he couldn't follow up even more. But in the end, pretty good trade for Kirai. He's having a great time in the jungle for now. I think he's pretty comfortable doing what he does. He's forced, he has a head of Kha'Zix, he had a great gank, but Kha'Zix is looking bottom right now.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. I mean, you're dealing with a Jax. Jax, of course, has his Counter-Strike. But you can see the bug. He's slithering around here in this bottom brush. But also look at the top lane. Kirai still waiting for the gank against the Suicast with the jump forward, immediately knocking someone up. But Guntberg is in a lot of trouble. Actually, Forsaken is right there to save him. So
they're not backing down.
Well, they're going for the deep dive, and they Forsaken and Guntberg, they know, okay, we don't want to mess with an Alistar who can still go in with the slam and the headbutts combo, which would actually a pulverized headbutt combo, which would be very risky. So I'm pretty sure that if Yasuika's actually went in, he would have died.
Yeah, they choose to pick up the turrets in the top lane. 2 of them are recalling right now. 3 of them are even recalling. And Kha'Zix is still, I don't want to say wasting his time, but he's looking to gank the bot lane, but he can only gank if Jax uses one of his escaping abilities, and he's not.
Yeah, Morsu, a very experienced player, has been a very big name in the Benelux ever since Season 1, if I recall correctly. And yeah, he knows exactly what he has to do right now. Just sit there and wait. And Morsu, of course, trying to replicate the power of Mahatmai, who used to play some very good Jax and actually got a pentakill in one of the big major Benelux tournaments. That was definitely an amazing treat to watch. But yeah, so Morsu, then again, he is a little bit behind on CS.
Yeah, he probably smelled the Kha'Zix being in that bush since his jungle was in the top lane all the time. But he kept the lane at a perfect distance from his tower. He had perfect lane control there, so he didn't miss too much CS, being a little bit afraid there. Yeah, he did fine as Jax. I think he can pick up some CS now since Trundle's coming back to lane. He isn't choosing to push back the lane. He wants to keep the lane there. That means that he can't recall and can't pick up another item though. So that might be a little bit dangerous. It's interesting to see if Kha'Zix will choose to dive the next time he comes bot. Maybe with a nice jump and a Trundle ult. Oh, Obese going in the mid lane.
Yeah, True is moving in, but there's Emperor's Divide coming out from steps, but is it going... No, not going to be a kill. Still, no blood on the wall.
Very close.
At the very least, they forced flashes. They forced a flash out of Seps. Seps deciding not to use his cleanse there. Interesting choice.
Yeah. What we see here is true. His flash is coming on in like a minute, 1.5 minute, and he knows Seb's flash won't be. So he can do an aggressive play in the mid lane together with Kirai maybe to burst him down. We might see that in like 1 minute, 1.5. But for now, the top lane is
Yeah, Kitty
fighting.
immediately forced the arcane shift right out of there, but it was completely fine.
That's
Arcane
that's the
shift is
safety.
basically flash number 2.
Flash number 2 used by Ezreal will be up in a couple of seconds.
This is interesting. Kirai is going to be running straight into Trunks. Actually, Kirai manages to steal away the red buff, and now Trunks deciding, I don't want to chase that one down. And, well, if we're looking at Trunks' way of building Kha'Zix, focusing on, of course, Taste Their Fear, which is, well, it only shows that most likely level 6 and large class. Also, I'm hoping it. Like, yeah, I'm a very big fan of Kha'Zix, so I'm very happy to see him in play.
Yeah, of course, I like Kha'Zix a lot as well. Like when he came out and the moments after that, he got played as a mid laner. He was maybe a little bit OP with just poking with his W. But like, he's a really fun champion to play. He's a really fun champion to watch. Like we can still remember the Alex East pentakill, I think. He makes flashy plays, like, and it's really a skilled champion. Like you have to be skilled to play him. So I'm excited to see what legendary Trunks can pull out when he gets fed a little bit on that Kha'Zix. But I got to say, Kirai is taking this game over. Like his Graves is deciding what's happening in the game. He even stole the red buff. And I think in the next couple of seconds, when that flash comes up for True, which is up right now, he will look to gank in the mid lane and take this game really into his own hands.
Yeah, that's basically what we're looking at in a couple of moments. Actually, he's now moving towards the bottom side of the map. Has already cleared out most of it. And at the same time, Kha'Zix is there as well. So we have Trunks waiting for Kirai, but Trunks not able to, well, stay there for too long, deciding to just back away. Last time he was wasting his time, now he's just deciding to take the Scuttle Crab. But at the same time, if we're looking at Trunks here, very near the dragon, although there's a good ward there placed by Kirai to make sure that that dragon does not go anywhere. Deep ward here by Yasuikas, and yeah, Trunks needs to back away from this one. He cannot stay here, very risky.
Yeah, the junglers are reading each other like a book. Like Kirai knew Trunks was going bottom, then Trunks recognized immediately that Kirai was coming, so he decided to take down some wards in the river. Like we're really focusing on the junglers at the moment. Like top lane, they're just farming. Morsu is getting behind on farm, which is not that bad for Jax if he gets enough farm to get his items. It's fine. He's not that far behind. In the mid lane, they're farming as well. They're like a wave apart. True is getting a little bit further ahead with his ult, but Seps can even clear those waves. Like the junglers are deciding what's happening right now, and I think they will decide how this game will go in the next couple of minutes, since the rest they aren't making any flashy plays.
Yes, well, actually, there was a very big flashy play as Kirai just soloed the dragon.
And there's a teleport coming.
Actually, teleport in top lane, incoming, a lot of trouble. The first blood going down, and now Trunks needs to escape as fast as he can. Zergots, yeah, he has been completely eliminated for the next 25 seconds. But you have to also give it here to Kirai, who, well, gave his team an additional 8% attack and ability power buff, which is well, more than enough to actually take down a champion, especially it's this close, especially as it has gone thus far. But Groenteburg and Forsaken are in the bottom lane, pushing very hard in order to get that tower, and they're most likely going to be trading top tower for the enemy's bottom tower. There's another teleport coming in as Kirai is moving into Forsaken and Groenteburger, and they have to back away unbreakable, keeping both Groenteburger and Forsaken alive.
Yeah, that flash in the top lane by Yasuikas, yeah, it was perfect. He waited for Zergot to flashed behind him with the pulverize, greatly timed, giving his team a kill. Oh, and they're going in the mid lane.
Yeah, definitely a mass. Actually, it's going to be a top lane instead, as we have Trunks moving in. But, again, it didn't end up in anything. So we had mid lane and top lane at the same time, and that's also a little bit interesting how they try to synchronize those ganks. Because, well, to be honest, the jungler can only be on one place at one place at the same time. Unless your name is Nocturne, of course, but Legendary Trunks now waiting here on the side. Kirai a little bit far forward, Legendary Trunks deciding, okay, I cannot jump over the wall, decides to just clear out this wave, well, this camp. As in the top lane, well, it was kind of to be kind of expected as Kitty and Suicas take down the first the top tower. And of course in the bottom lane, well, we were already talking about it a little bit, as Groenteburger and Forsaken took down one in return. So gold still fairly even, only a 600 gold difference, but look at Lachende Gerdas right now. They're on the Rift Herald, and whoever gets it gets a 21 or 20 minute buff, I believe.
Yeah, they will get a nice buff of this one just because. Oh, really close to dying. Yeah, they will pick this up. Let's see who they give it to. They will give to Kirai. He's taking this game into his own hands, so logically that the jungler is getting the buff. We saw them fighting in the mid lane here. Seth was really low on mana, so yeah, Trunks had to babysit him there for a bit. But Kirai and True, they noticed Kha'Zix must be near because his mana was so low, so they didn't go for the dive there. But yeah, it's 1-in-1 in turret. Some fights that almost break out, but then the cleanse comes out, and now Sebs has his flash again. So what we predicted to happen in the mid lane almost happened, but didn't happen, and won't happen soon, I think, with the flash being up again. And like everybody's summoners are up again, so maybe we see a big fight near the dragon soonish, when that comes back. But now they're trying to push top lane to get a turret back.
It's going to be an interesting one as Kha'Zix or Legendary Trunks is slowly but surely moving in here via the side. Actually, there's the engage pulverize head, but combo there's actually a two-man pulverize. Now, Forsaken is in a lot of trouble. He tried to pop his ult, but he failed immediately. Arcane Barrage coming out. Groenteburger in a lot of trouble. When is the Arcane Shift coming up? Forcing a flash out of Groenteburger with that Mystic Shot. Legendary Trunks just moving in as well. Bottom lane teleport now by Zergold, who desperately protects his tower. A smart teleport there, but double pulverize combo there by that was
amazing play. Like, this was the burst potential we were talking about before the game. Like, it's just Suicas gets his combination off, then comes the Asterion with the Graves ult combo. They can't even handle the damage, even with Forsaken shield. They just bursted right through that one. And I'm afraid this will happen a couple times.
Just look at the middle lane. Kirai taking a lot of damage. Morrison also coming in. That's a 4-man plus cow in the jungle squad. So they actually take yet another first tier tower. So, well, if we're looking at the amount of gold right now, we were talking. I was saying a little bit earlier that it was only a 600 gold difference. We're now already looking at a 2,000 gold difference in favor of the Lachende Gerdas.
Yeah, the Lachende Gerdas, they are not afraid to make a play right here. The teleport for Morsu was down, the teleport for True was down. They were both in mid and bot lane, and they went in for a 3-for-4 fight, and they knew they could burst him down. Like, they're not afraid to make plays, and I think that's really important at this stage of the tournament, to just take these games into your own hands and to just make plays like that.
Yep, seems it's actually a very good start. I mean, don't forget, we are playing, I believe, 7 rounds, so even if you lose one, it's okay. I mean, you can get back, especially if you anticipate to be one of the strongest teams in the tournament. I'm not entirely sure which team is actually considered the favorite right now, but I'm pretty sure we're going to let the chat decide. Nevertheless,
the chat
7 rounds, you have to play everyone once.
Yeah, you have to play everyone once. There are indeed, we will do this for 7 weeks, and after that are the finals. The finals will be in the Amsterdam Arena. That's the stadium where Ajax plays. You can buy tickets, by the way, already for people that are interested in that.
Tickets! Look at True's a lot of trouble. Legendary Trunks coming in here. Ace in the hole, but it misses. Forsaken with the kill steal.
Forsaken with the kill steal. That's I don't think Groenteburger likes that one that much. The auto attack kill steal. Like I was saying about tickets, you can buy tickets for the Amsterdam Arena already at ESL Benelux.nl. That big red, yellow button on the right hand side of the screen. You can buy tickets for the finale. It'll be great.
Speaking of buying tickets, like I said before, stuff is happening. Kirai once again on the dragon, and no one is going to stop him. He's going to get that second buff of the Infernal Drake, and that's going to double up their bonus. And yeah, it's going to be an amazing event, that's for certain. So take a look at it as, of course, Kirai takes down the dragon. But back to the game as we're looking at the builds coming out from the players. Trundle, I believe I see a Titanic Hydra coming out. Is that a normal item here on Trundle?
If you want to do damage with Trundle, of course. And it's a nice little item, not to go fully damage just to get some of that health back as well. I like it on Trundle, especially if you want to do some burst damage with your auto attacks. But maybe if you look at his team, they might have needed a more tanky champion. On the other side, they are battling versus a Jax. The other team also has a composition without a real tank, except for their support. So, yeah, they're basically evening up on damage.
Yeah, seems like a good plan for now. Of course, nice push here. Zergot, well, at the front. He's probably the most tanky champion on the side of Asterion. But looking at the bottom lane, we of course have Morsu slowly but surely pushing in, and in the top lane, we have True pushing in. So the longer this goes, the more Asterion is forced into, or rather backed into a corner where they have to make a decision. Which lane do we aggress on? Well, the thing is,
you see the
leave
damage
Jax alone,
Morsu does.
he's going to smack. That's for certain. And now actually top lane, yeah, top lane seems to be fine. True knows, okay, I'm not going down just yet.
Yeah, you see the damage Morsu does to Trundle already with just the Trinity Force. He's gonna go for that second damage item soon. Then, and at that point, Jax is gonna be a beast to play against. I think they'll go for a 1-3-1 lane where they'll send Rise top, Jax bot, like this, so he can burst down the Caitlyn.
Top lane though, Gutenberg's in a lot of trouble. Forsaken immediately coming in through, and a lot of trouble.
Oh!
Locked down in the turret as we have Forsaken once again. Well, that's going to be a tanky Brown, that's for certain. But now Kira is in a lot of trouble. Yasui's immediately coming out to support him. But is there? Yeah, he should be fine. Kira just will back away. Legendary Trunks a little bit aggressive there, even forcing Kitty away, just out of sheer fear of the bug. And he could literally taste their fear.
The bug didn't taste it. The bug tasted their fear right there, but if he would have gotten caught by the Alistar, he would have probably died. Oh,
yeah, but
that
like
goes Braum.
Speaking of dying, Forsaken just gets some walls right.
They didn't even need the Alistar.
He's going down to about 100 health, completely forced away as the lane is being pushed in here by the 3-man team. Cast, Kirai, and Kitty. And they get another turret, and you can see the advantage slowly increasing, or is it Legendary Trunks moving in? Doesn't get the isolation bonus. Cast going in completely here on the Sept. There's no follow-up. Now Kirai in a lot of Sept's using Emperor's Divide just to cast away from his team. Legendary Trunks actually, correction, it's Zergot who got the kill, but he goes down, and that means that there's going to be shutdown gold. Actually, Legendary Trunks in a lot of trouble. Kitty Arcane shifts forward, and goodbye. Flash wasted, and bug splatted.
A great little team fight there by Lachende Gerdas. You saw they didn't even need the headbutt pulverize for the first kill, so they could, Justice could flash pulverize in on Sept, making him invulnerable for just the first couple of seconds of that team fight, making his two other teammates really low. Yeah, great team fight, and now they get a free Baron.
Yeah, definitely. Baron going over to the team of Lachende Gerdas, and that's the first, well, what can I say, many setbacks. Not really the first, actually, it's more like, could be even the last of all the setbacks that the team of Asterion is currently facing. And Lachende Gerdas with a 4,000 gold lead, and now also the Baron buff at their disposal. You have...
Let's see what they will do with that Baron buff. I think they will push the 1-3-1 lane, just like I said before. It's sad that True doesn't have his flash at the moment, but like Ryze has the great 1v1 potential. Jax has it as well, so they probably go for the 1-3-1 tactics while they'll send 3 other guys to the mid lane. And I am bug splatted, so I'll try to join the game.
Literal bug splat there, but in the meantime though, we are going to continue the fight for now as Gutenberg Forsaken and Seb's Arm pushing in the middle lane, but they're going to get pushed out by Yasui's and Kirai, who are going to give their minions a lot of additional power. And in the meantime though, True moving to the top lane as expected, and Morsu in the bottom lane. So it is definitely the 1-3-1 strategy, but the issue is of course that Morsu and True do not have their teleports up, and that's a horrible situation to be in. Which means that
I'm back in the
if
game.
they decide to go... Ah, perfect, you're back in the game. Yeah, I was going to say, if they decide to actually fight
if there's
here,
a Kha'Zix in
it
the
could
game.
be a 5 versus 3 situation. Perfect.
Okay, well, if there's a Kha'Zix in your game, apparently you get bug splatted at one point.
Seems good.
Let's see, they're rotating bot to maybe dive the Azir here. Justice doesn't have his flash up.
Oh, bottom, middle lane actually. Legendary Trunks jumping towards Kirei, but just Kaz is there for the defense.
Kira had to use his ult there to create some distance between him and the stuns of the enemy team. But they're pushing bot lane really hard now with the buff minions. Ryze going for the 1v1 as we expected. Pushing Trundle off the tower.
Yeah, Circle has just pushed off the tower, but in the meantime though, Kirei now moving back to the middle lane together with Kaz. The rest of the team now also joining in. The tower down to about 10%, 0%. Red turret has gone down, and that means that they now finally have an open inhibitor, which means that, well, they could definitely solidify their lead even further. But look at the dragon, the next dragon that's going to come out. It's the third Infernal Dragon. That's a 24 damage boost, 24% damage boost for the team of Lachende Gerdas.
Yeah, Lachende Gerdas has picked up every single dragon. They're heading through it. It seems their game to lose, actually. Like, if they mess this up, I don't expect them to. Like, yeah, there you see Truce damage. Here's this Ryze with a 230 farm at 23 minutes. He has 2 items. Like, nobody can 1v1 him at this point. Even the Trundle, who's supposed to be tanky, like, he gets deleted by him in a matter of seconds. And you see the Asterion 6-0 blue build. Like, you can't even escape or chase this team right now.
Yeah, they pretty much have the best of all worlds. They have poke, they have 1v1 potential, although he's taking a monstrous amount of damage right there. But yeah, if we're actually looking at Trundle as well, no magic resist items. In the meantime though, Kirei and True both going for that red buff, probably going to give it to Kirei. Yeah, that would make no sense if that wasn't the case. Baron buff at the point of running out, so they need to make a play with it very soon. That's actually going to be the biggest problem right here, because the advantage, of course, of having Nazir on your team is building those turrets, and those turrets doing a good amount of damage to all the minions, and of course the champions should they die.
Yeah, the Azir turret saves them a bit there.
Oh,
like...
Kitty is now in a lot of trouble. He's back away here. Just Kaz coming in. Oh, interesting. Actually, teleport cancelled. Yeah, teleport has been cancelled by Ryze. In the meantime, actually, a massive fight in the middle lane as Kirei just obliterates Seps. And at the same time, you have Morsu in the bottom lane. It's just smashing on that inhibitor, trying to take it down as fast as possible. It's almost down. 25%. Exhaust goes down to Morsu. He's trying to escape here. Gets stunned down to Kunberger. Now gets the rest of his team to assist. True locks down Legendary Trunks. Legendary Trunks might just escape here. It's a beautiful ult from Brown, but he's enough Kirei, a lot of trouble. Kirei gets 0, but there's the arcane barrage, but it doesn't hit, and now Morsu Legendary Trunks, he gets stunned on the strike, that's a kill. And that's a beautiful fight here for the team of Lachende Gerdas, and they just take down 2 inhibitors as well. They take down 4 out of 5
what Jax does best.
And this could be it. This is the end.
And the surrender votes comes in. Yeah, like that Jax play right there. He pulled the entire enemy team there with 5 guys. Like, killing the inhibitor, then stunning their AD carry and flashing into his team to safety, then cleaning up everything. That was really clean Jax play right there.